I don't mind sitting on a fence. I don't love sitting on a fence. Frazer telling Fabio stand up, and he stood up and said, "Go do what you're told." This is the beginning of the blockbuster Easter event. It's not the better fighter that always wins. By nature, Florian's just on smoke. Joshua Buatsi gets in the ring or gets ringside afterwards.
He's fought Kovalev and he fought Berbatov.
Berbatov.
Why can't I get this guy's name?
I don't have enough data.
We don't have enough data.
I think they're both sick, and I think they both punch me up.
Happy Valentine's Day, Dan.
Right. Mouthpiece, the home of unfiltered boxing. Welcome back to Mouthpiece. I am Saavage Dan.
I'm Fearon.
I am in the blue corner.
I'm in the red. I'm in the red.
Chelsea won yesterday.
So did
Got
Arsenal.
3 points. I'll take it.
So did Arsenal, 6-0.
Still not happy, but it's a step in the right direction, I guess. Anyway, back to boxing. We didn't have a show this week, Boxer, but Queensbury did. I believe Matchroom did. Craig Richards was out. Anthony Yarde was out. We'll get on to him and them and maybe the light heavyweights a little bit later, and probably in around 10 minutes. But let's start with the press conference that last time we recorded, we had announced Frazer, Clarke and Fabio Wardley.
Yep.
We had not had the press conference. So I wanted to get a closer look at as to what they're saying and how they're feeling. Did you watch any of the press?
I watched the whole thing.
It was good.
It was tension in the air.
They're witty. They're both witty. So
yeah, because even
like one's sharp and then the other's sharp, and one's cheeky and the other's cheeky. Yeah. And the t-shirt, and then
with the yeah.
Fabio's Frazer telling Fabio stand up, and he stood up and said, "Go do what you're told." It's gonna be that the whole way through for the next 7 weeks or so.
Of course.
Something I've noticed. I've known Fabio for a while, longer probably than I've known Frazer. He has an air of I'm not gonna say arrogance now, but he has.
Rightfully so, though.
No, it's not. I'm not saying it in a negative way. He has an aura around him now where it's just like, I thought it before, I know it now. Like I know I'm the guy.
Yeah,
and he's had his 50-50s, if you want to call it, with Adelaide and with Gorman, I guess, and Molina. I'm not gonna call them 50-50s.
Tough fights,
I'd say tough fights, or at least on paper, a test.
Yeah, definitely a test. I'll say 60-40 in his favour to some of them, though. Molina,
I would say
not 50.
I would say in every fight, even though it's a test, Fabio has still been the favourite.
Yeah, 60-40, yeah.
Same with Frazer.
But still a potential banana skin, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Frazer is yet to drop a round, yet to be hurt, yet to have any moments in fights where he looks like he's in any real danger.
Yeah, if he's been rocked.
He has gone through that as an amateur, though. And the top end of amateur, not enough people maybe talk about it, but the top end of amateur is better than mid-range professional boxing.
But does that mean anything, though, Dan?
But it's the WSB. It's as close to professional fighting as you're ever going to get.
Yeah. But does that mean anything? Do you if you're fighting somebody and he got rocked or he's been hurt in the amateurs, the WSB, do you take anything from that? Like,
I personally don't. I take more from when things are happening. So 5 years ago probably doesn't have that much of a bearing on today. Whereas 5 months ago probably does.
Yeah, of course.
With that being said, everyone I've spoken to, and that means almost everyone.
Because you was there.
Yes.
Yeah, you was at
But I'm talking like just away from the presser.
Just
away
general
from
fans. And
everyone who I'm speaking to about the fight, because it's a big fight, everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, big fight. Massive
everyone
fight.
I'm speaking to is favouring Fabio Wardley. A lot of them by stoppage.
He's the favourite. He's the bookie's favourite. He's the fans' favourite.
I don't know what the bookies have opened up at, but usually everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
I'm not so sure either.
Now, one thing when I spoke to Fabio, I said, this is not the same as the fights you've had. This is an Olympian in terms of pedigree, in terms of schooling. This isn't what you've faced before.
No, of course not.
But Fabio's clever enough to know that, and he was just like, I know. This isn't anyone I've fought before. So he understands the magnitude of the fight.
What?
But I just can't believe how many people are writing off Frazer Clarke. And I didn't know until that day that if Frazer does do this and wins the British and Commonwealth, he would be the quickest ever in history
to do it.
Wow.
So
that's how quickly he's moving.
Yeah, he's moving. Yeah, he's been fast track.
He's not a spring chicken, but
even Clarke, even he said that. Listen, I know this is going to be my toughest fight, and he said He said he's going to train his arse off for this fight, and this is the opportunity that he's been waiting for. Yeah. He knows that Fabio is a great boxer. They respect each other to some degree because obviously there's a bit of banter there. If you don't like someone,
they rate each other.
Yeah. They know, and obviously they've seen each other throughout the amateurs or throughout their careers anyway. So I think Clarke's gonna be in for. I think he's got a good chance. I honestly think he could. You never know, innit? It was heavyweight boxing because heavyweight boxing is one punch can change everything with heavyweight boxing. But I don't think people should just write off Clarke like that.
I can't believe it.
It's mad. I understand.
But I get. You're as good as your last fight is what people will probably
of course.
Say. Of course. For Frazer Clarke, his last couple of fights, he's been in there with Marius Wack and Dave Allen, who, although they're good names, are not the same fighters that they were.
Nah, of course.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so
he was always going to win those fights.
Exactly.
He was always going to win those
Fabio
fights.
Wardley has been in with probably the tougher tests in the last two, definitely against David. Where a lot of people that was a 50-50 with the masses. A lot of people didn't. In fact, a lot of people thought Wardley would win that as well.
Yeah, that could have gone either way with Adelaide.
That could have, because of the build up and David's
attitude.
Game.
Yeah, he's game.
His attitude in the build up, it just swung a lot of people the other way. This fight, I don't mind sitting on a fence. I don't love sitting on a fence.
Nah.
And sometimes it gets a little bit techie when you know the people and you know you're going to maybe upset people and blah, blah, blah. But I don't care that much about that because they're not going to fight me. They're going to fight each other. So, having said that, this far out, 7 weeks to go.
We'll get more closer
I'll
to the fight.
get more info as to how I feel. Initially, before all of this, I thought Clarke beats Wardley.
Okay.
Always. This is before this fight was made. I always actually thought that. I thought maybe size would play a factor, weight would play a factor.
Yeah.
But then I look at them when they're face to face and head to head.
Is there much difference?
There's not that much difference. Fabio might even be slightly taller. Fair enough, the weight is going to be different. Clarke's a true heavyweight.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a true heavyweight. There's none of this bullying him or in terms of in clinches. You probably don't want that much of him.
Nah, trust me. I saw it the other day. Last week, he was staring me down, and I remember I said to you, "Don't look at me like that. I don't want."
There's no point.
You look good in green, man. Yeah, good. You're nice.
He had the badge on his arm. He had the Stony badge. He was ready to fight right then.
Yeah, he was game, man.
But yeah, there wasn't that much of a size difference in terms of height. Fabio's definitely a lot bigger than I think he looks.
In person.
I noticed that when he fought David Adelaide as well.
Yeah, because David Adelaide's
I thought Clarke would be too well schooled for him, old school. But the one thing that you can't, I guess you can't measure, but you can't really put a value on is how quickly Fabio can learn.
Yeah.
He can learn quick, and he's got Ben Davidson in his corner.
Yeah.
He's a very, very good coach. Yeah. And also, maybe the fact that it's not always the better fighter that wins fights. That's not how. Otherwise, we just would never need to have these fights. You know what I'm saying? It's not the better fighter that always wins. Having said that, I will say this. This is going to be my early prediction. My early one for this.
Prediction or?
It's going to be a half prediction.
Okay, go on. Sitting on the fence again, Dan.
I'm going to go with this. This is 7 weeks out. This is going to change as well, guys.
100%.
7 weeks out. I know Fabio's in a good place. And I also know Frazer Clarke's in a good place. He's been training very well and he looks up for it. And I know he's fueled by doubt. I'm going to say if this goes to points, Frazer Clarke wins. If there's a stoppage,
Wardley wins.
It will probably belong to Wardley. That's my best way of sitting on the fence right now. So I'm going to get off this fence soon.
With that being said, you think that Clarke is the better boxer now?
Better schooled, I would say. I'm not saying he's got the faster hands. He might. But I'm saying, all right, cool. Wardley has the power.
Yes.
There are attributes like Wardley has the power to, and he has a certain degree of athleticism to just let his hands go. He just pops. I would say in terms of actual schooling and maybe knowing how to navigate a fight, Frazer has all the experience in the world. Maybe not so much as a pro.
Nah, yeah,
but in terms of, I think he hasn't dropped a minute of a round, let alone a round. Whereas sometimes you see Fabio having to go for a gut check, and he always checks out.
Yeah.
He does always come through the gut check, but there's still a gut check, and I just wonder,
can he take that shot?
It's not even can you take that shot, as in when the fight does get like that, is Frazer going to be the fighter that is best equipped to navigate it, is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Whereas Fabio just fights his way out of trouble. He's just like, yeah, boom.
I'm here.
That's it. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's rock it out until someone goes over.
Let's throw shots.
And it's brilliant to watch. And he always comes out on
But very
tops.
dangerous.
But it's dangerous.
Very dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
So look, the fans win no matter what.
Of course, it's going to be a great fight.
It's one of those fights. But I'm really interested to see how this unfolds. They both really think they're going to win. I had a sit down with both of them.
What's the date for it again?
It is March 31st, which is Easter Sunday.
Yes.
Everybody at home, this is going to go on general sale on the 15th of February. That is one day after Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Listen, if you love the person you're with, just buy the tickets.
Yeah, exactly.
Boxing.com.
Ladies, it's a great present for your man.
That's it.
It's a great present for your man.
And it's a great night out. It's at the O2. It's Easter Sunday.
Yep.
You know, you can have your meal and all of that, and you head on out to the O2.
There's no work the next day.
No work the next day, bank holiday.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's perfect.
It's actually perfect.
It's
Tickets
perfect.
start from £30. Buy right now.
Get in there, man. It's going to be good.
By the time this comes out, it'll be a few hours before you can...
Buy the tickets.
Buy the tickets. Yeah. Any thoughts going into this? 7 weeks out?
Not really. Not anything. Not right now. When we go more closer to the date. But I know who I'm swaying more towards. But
say it. Be brave. It might change. I saw you go Joshua to
Disease. I know.
I saw it. So 7 weeks out. Where's your head at?
I know.
If you had to put I'm not saying you have to give a method, but if you have to put your pound somewhere, this is who I think will have their arm raised.
If I'm being completely honest, it's Clarke, man. Right now.
You think Clarke?
Right now, yeah.
That's actually crazy because
because the fact of the matter is
you're like the only person I've spoken to outside of boxing who thinks that. I say outside, you're inside boxing, you're not a boxing podcast. I mean, but I'm talking like when I'm speaking to the general public, it's an overwhelming Wardley pro crowd.
Yeah, but especially that stoppage you got the other day. It's gonna
yeah.
It's not shadow. It's not gonna. I don't want to say shadow.
You're as good as
you're as good as your last fight. Yeah.
Form is a big thing in football, in everything. Like if you're playing a team that's got 5 wins on a trot, you walk out onto the pitch feeling a little bit more wary than if they've lost the last.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just like it's the form book.
I like the fact that Clarke he's game and he's ready, and the fact that one thing I do respect about him, he knows that this is his biggest test in his career, and he knows that I need to step up to the plate, and this is going to be a good fight, and this is going to be a hard fight for me. So with that being said, I think he's going to train even more harder. Obviously, you train hard for every fight,
but he'll have the bit between.
Yeah, he have the bit between, and like you said, that's another achievement he probably wants to go for. That he's going to be the youngest Commonwealth. What do you say, Commonwealth?
British. I'm pretty sure it's both.
Both, yeah.
Both are on the line, but I think
that doesn't mean he's going to win. I'm not saying that.
What an accolade! That
exactly.
He didn't even know that. He didn't know.
He's like, oh, okay, is it?
And Scott told him.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good fight.
I know
it's
who
a
the
good
fight,
and it's going to be a good build up. And do you know why it's going to be an even better build up? Because added to the card now is Florian Marku and Chris Kongo. Now these two have genuine, slight respectful beef. It just depends what mood they're in. Obviously, Florian's Albanian, so.
And I went to his fight.
Yeah.
I went to his fight.
So by nature, Florian's just on smoke. Like he's just always on smoke. Like, but it's respectful smoke.
Yeah.
So it's just like but the switch goes and it's gone. Boom.
Yeah.
Chris is obviously
respectful, but
he's from the ends.
But he's on smoke as well.
He's on smoke as well.
So
this is a good fight and the beginning of a blockbuster card. This is not going to be some kind of card where we have a very good main event. And, maybe not the greatest undercard. You wait and see what's coming.
Oh, okay.
Just trust me.
I don't even
buy
know
the tickets and thank me later. Just thank me later. This is the beginning of the blockbuster Easter event.
Oh, and this is the first. And
It's called Bad Blood. The bill is Bad Blood.
Oh, so there's
It's not a joke.
There's a lot of derbies in there then. Derbies.
That's it.
A lot of tension.
Chris Kongo, Florian, Marku, that's been brewing for ages.
Yeah,
I'm talking 2 years ago, I think I had an interview about that. And
that's one for the fans.
Sam Jones and I forgot who else it was. Anyway, Florian Marku's management team were just they laughed me off
At Chris Kongo.
at the possibility of that fight needing to happen at some point. I was just like, eventually they're gonna need each other. And we're here now.
So they was disregarding him. They didn't even look at him as a threat.
Well, Florian was looking, I don't want to say upwards, but he was looking at different opportunities. He's a big name. He draws big numbers.
It's a world title.
Every Albanian in London will be at the O2.
100 million making
that's it.
Noise.
That's it.
Yeah.
So because of that, they were just like, we don't need Chris Kongo.
Yeah.
But now it makes sense. Bad Blood. We had the push at a previous press conference. They don't love each other. They can. I just think this is a fight that always needed to happen. I'm happy that it happens now.
No, definitely.
I'm not sure how I see that fight yet. I probably haven't given it enough thought. I think we have two very, very different styles of fighting here. And I think the winner is about who manages to get their fight. If Chris can keep the stick out and keep him on the end of that jab, like he can do early on in fights. He was doing it against Eko Esserman. He does it against everyone early doors, but then down the stretch, that people close the distance, and then all of a sudden, it throws the fight. He always, if he loses a fight, Chris, it's always like that. It's like that.
The thing is with me with Chris Kongo, great fighter, fantastic fighter. But the thing is, I do question about him sometimes. Is that does he have enough in the tank?
He does
in the later
rounds.
But
I think
sometimes it looks like
It's only when he's in there with a monster, something like Echo,
and he's going in there against a monster though, Dan.
But a monster with high output. Now, Florian isn't known for high output. He's gonna blitz you if he can. Of course he is. Yeah. And he's a very, very good, technically sound boxer. And since he's been with Grant Smith, he's got even better. He's very, 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 very good. But he's not like an Eko Esserman who's just gonna press you forward, feet. Regardless of what you hit him with, he's gonna keep coming.
Yeah.
His style is he wants to look sexy whilst doing it as well.
He's
and he does get bored. So I've mentioned this to Florian before. Sometimes do you get bored and almost give rounds away or give moments away? So this is a fight where
I don't think you'll do that with this fight though.
Sometimes it's habit.
Yeah, but his habit, but
can't afford to.
You can't afford to. Yeah. But maybe he does it against fighters where he knows I'm going to beat this guy. Like, I'm better than him. So I know by the first round I'm better than this guy.
For me, this is one of those fights where if Chris can keep him on the end of that jab, because as far as dimensions, Chris is far bigger and longer.
Yeah, by far.
If he can keep him over there, then Chris, I'm not going to say has an easy night, but that's half the job done. If Florian can close that distance, and that's what he does.
Yeah, that's what he's very good at.
That's what he's good at.
Yeah.
If Florian can make that jab go over the shoulder, and now he's in.
Underneath,
That's the thing. So like lots of feints for Chris. Close that distance for Florian. That is a top fight again. Look, we're going to probably be covering these fights for the next few weeks.
Definitely.
Probably not talking about them every single time.
No.
Let's talk about what happened this weekend then. Do you know what it is? We're going to obviously talk about Anthony Yarde.
Yes, have to.
Absolutely blitzed. I think his name was Nikolai. Battered him. Looked just too big, too strong, too good.
Too good, yeah.
Obviously, Joshua Buatsi gets in the ring or gets ringside afterwards. They have the interview, and it looks like that's the fight we want next. It's the fight everyone's been asking for probably 5 years.
Yeah. Overdue.
Both. I would say it's perfect timing. I'm not sure if it's overdue. And maybe it is.
It is a bit overdue.
They're both.
Maybe. But like you said, I think it is perfect timing. They've built their profile to a
They're
certain
still
level.
kind of at the in a very good place to have this fight.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
It is number 1 and number 2.
Yeah, it'll be great for a world title.
Or is it?
Oh wow. Alright.
Do you know why I say that? Now, Buatsi's had.
Yeah, go on.
I think you know where I'm going to go with
No,
this.
but I got something confused, but go on.
Buatsi has had domestic tests. And by that, I mean he fought Spider Richards, gut check, had to come through it, win. Dan Aziz, I guess a gut check, had to come through it. Maybe he wasn't in trouble, but as in it's a very competitive fight, domestically.
Pressure fight as well.
Against a top tier opponent who's come to beat him. Boom. Maybe if there's a criticism of Joshua Buatsi, it's that he's gone that way too slowly. And that maybe they want that to be a little bit more steep.
Yeah.
Anthony Yarde, on the other hand, no one can deny his talent and how good he is. But he batters everything at this level. And then he misses out this entire midsection and just goes, right, I'm going to fight a Russian.
Yes.
Now, it's great. As far as opportunities, world title opportunities, he's mixed it at the higher level.
Yeah. He's on... Anthony Yarde is a weird one. He's on the cusp of world level.
No, he is world level.
No, okay. I think he is world level because when he fights world level fighters, he takes them to the end.
I watched the Beterbiev fight yesterday again. I just wanted to have another look.
Yeah.
I was super impressed. Yeah? Like, he showed so much heart, grit. He did what no one else has been able to do. Like, he put the first dent, realistically, in Beterbiev in terms of matching him for as long as he possibly could.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's probably no denying that he is probably the sharpest light heavyweight in terms of he is super sharp.
Yeah.
I would have Josh.
I don't think he even moves like.
I would have Joshua as the smoother fighter.
Yeah.
As in maybe slightly more well-rounded entirely. Maybe it comes from the Olympic schooling again. Blah 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 blah. But because Joshua's done that and he's at that level where he hasn't yet gone to that next level.
Yeah.
And Anthony Yarde has skipped out that kind of place and gone straight to the top and mixed it and given a good account of himself. We know he's still in here.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are in relation to each other. I'm not sure where I'd put number one and number two.
Because that's my thing is, like you said with Anthony Yarde, he's fought loads of credible fighters. He's fought Kovalev and he fought Berbatov. Why can't I get this guy's name?
Now that's a fighter. Ball control.
Oh my god! Why can't I?
You're gonna have all of Russia.
I know.
Onto you.
They're gonna.
It's Beterbiev.
That's it.
Beterbiev.
I can say it, but it just slips
and
out.
Kovalev.
I know. Yeah, Kovalev.
Just go with Levs.
Levs. Yeah, the Levs. He's fought the Levs.
Yeah.
Basically, he's fought the Levs. Like you said, he fights these fighters. He fights he doesn't fight. For me, maybe he could have fought someone like a Joe Smith.
Yeah.
Or Kovacic.
No, he plays for City.
Yeah, I know.
All right, do you know? I wasn't even looking overseas for who he's. Here's my number one thing.
He doesn't fight.
I don't have enough data. I don't have enough data. I need to know because Joshua Buatsi has fought Richards. I know where to put him in the domestic rankings, and he's fought Aziz. I would have loved, just for my peace of mind, of course, this only works for me and for the rest of the fans who are watching it, who can't figure out what's going on here.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Anthony Yarde fight a Craig Richards or a Dan Aziz or anyone, just so or a Callum Smith. I just wanted to know where he is before there. We know he's better than all the Italians and all the European guys that he's just battering. He's beating them up.
He's better than he's too good for them. But he gets the world level,
and that's the top. That is not world level, by the way. That's the
elite level.
That's the top.
That's the top of
But
he's not getting blitzed by those guys. So we don't know if he's. So the next level down, but he doesn't fight the guys. He doesn't fight in between.
This is the fight that shows us everything.
Yes.
Now,
are you too good for these guys in between there, or you should be fighting there?
Yeah,
he's in a weird.
He's had opportunity. He had moments in both fights against Kovalev and Beterbiev. I'm not saying where he could have stopped Beterbiev because Beterbiev was very clever, and I'm not sure if he was playing possum certain times, but he managed to just spin him back onto the ropes and go and just turn this fight on his head. Kovalev, he almost got him in round 8 or 9.
Yeah, almost. Almost. You could have won that fight, man. Close.
How do you see Joshua Buatsi versus Anthony Yarde going?
I personally, I'm not gonna tell. I'm not gonna tell you who wins this or who I think is gonna win right now. But like you said, I think this is gonna be a game, not even a game, a fight of chess. They're gonna be, like you said, the data.
I think he was probably better off going with game of chess.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a game of chess.
A fight of chess is insane.
That's what this fight is.
Yeah. Fighting is a game of chess.
Fighting is a game of chess. Yeah. It's all mental. It's chess, not checkers. They're gonna be while they're fighting each other. What I love about both these fighters, they both collecting data. Like you said, we don't have enough data. Data. They both collect data while they're fighting their opponents, and that's both of them.
Yeah,
they're very highly skilled in doing that. So this fight, I can't put a finger on it because they're both good at everything. Both their attributes, they're both good at it. They both can punch.
Yeah.
They're both skilled boxers.
Both can move.
Both
got engines. I think Yarde gets a bit of stick for his engine. But I don't know why, because people say, "Oh, if Yarde had an engine." No, Yarde has an engine because he's just fighting monsters. Yeah. Maybe Kovalov wasn't a monster at the time, but he's mixing it with them.
If he could go, what did he go to, like the 10th round with Kovalev or something? He went the later round, 10th round. So if he could go to a 10 round with those guys, that's it. Then you've got.
I mean, obviously fatigue's gonna set in at some point. It's just, all right. Here's the thing.
And sorry, I questioned Buatsi's engine, but when I said, "Oh, can he go the later rounds with Dan Aziz?" and he showed us that he can, and he looked great doing it as well. So
the thing is, here's where I think this is the part that probably not confuses people, but makes people side with Yarde, because a lot of people are saying Yarde to me.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yarde won't carry you. If Yarde is better than you, you will find out inside 6 minutes. You'll be on the canvas. He'll blitz you. Whereas Josh might carry you a bit and have a look. Maybe he wants the rounds. Maybe he wants to land the perfect shot. Whatever it is. Maybe he's just not as aggressive unless you're bringing it to him. That is probably something that is like making people side of Yarde more than side with Joshua.
Yeah.
He blitzes them.
He does.
Obviously, it's different opponents.
It's different opponents. But at the same time, Buatsi knows that if I got the chance to blitz this guy,
he's getting blitzed.
Yeah. Like, I can't. Yeah. Some people do say the last round.
I'm gonna coin this one. It's like the smoothness of Joshua Buatsi against the sharpness.
Oh, that's nice.
Of Anthony Yarde.
Yeah.
I think that might be what it comes down to. And who can get it out the mud? I think this is going to be one of those kind of fights where.
Do you think it's a big fight?
Do I think it's a big fight?
No, some people could question.
I think it's a mammoth fight. There's no bigger light heavyweight fight.
I've heard some people question it and saying maybe it's a.
Tell those people they're more than welcome to come and sit
will
here.
Will it do numbers and all this stuff?
Of course it would. There's no other fight to make in British boxing. That's one of the that is one of the biggest fights you could possibly make. For their whole careers, they have been compared to each other. No matter who they fought and what title they won, whatever they achieved, where they've gone, they were compared to each other. This has to happen now. Yeah. It would have been maybe more appetizing for people if they had beef at the same time, but they don't have beef. They just don't have beef with anyone.
He does. He's just a nice guy.
That's it.
He's a nice guy. The fact that he was at his fight as well shows everybody that
it's a scouting mission.
Yeah. He's game, man.
Yeah,
he's game. I think he obviously respectfully his friend Dan. He had to get through that opponent there.
Yeah.
Did that, showed everybody how good he is, and he's got the engine, he's got the tank, he could go the later rounds. And now he's come to this guy now, where everybody wants to see this fight. Okay, cool. Anthony Yarde, you fought at an elite level. He wasn't just quite there. He was on the cusp of winning, but you didn't win. Now you're fighting the next best thing. Like you said, number 1 and 2, which I think they are.
Yeah. Do you know the reason I said that? The reason I said is because Craig Richards fought at the weekend.
Spider.
And
he's dangerous,
Boris Crichton, I think it was. And he's hard. He's not hard to beat, but he's hard to beat well. He knows his way around the weight. And so the way Craig did that, impressed me. Obviously, he's now with the McGuigans. They don't make bad fighters.
No way.
They
don't make
bad fighters, which means I only expect Craig Richards to get better from here. He's a big light heavy. He pushed Joshua Buatsi all the way. He pushed Bivol all the way. So that was the one that I would have liked to see. Yarde, that would have given me the data I needed.
Oh, so you wanted to see Yarde versus?
I wanted to
Yarde
see
versus
him,
Spider.
Yarde versus Yarde versus Spider, Yarde versus Aziz. I would have wanted to see that just to know where I can rank him domestically.
Yeah, all three of them. Yeah.
I struggle to place him amongst the British light heavyweights. Same kind of with Callum Smith. Yeah. Because he's obviously at super middle, we knew where to rank him, number one.
Yeah, number one.
But at light heavy, I can't quite tell. And also, like, we know from football, primes are a strange thing. Some people have a long prime.
Some people have a short prime.
Some people have the Delta Rat prime.
Yeah.
Or two seasons, max 18 months.
Yeah, done.
So it's I would like to know where certain fighters are right now, and it's hard for me to rank them when maybe they're not mixing it with when you're only mixing it at the top. Sometimes the top can't tell me how good you are because like it's at the very top. You haven't gone that way.
Yeah. Are you consistent of beating the?
That's it. Like, could I play in the Prem? Yeah. Or would I have to go League One and Championship first?
Yeah. Because you can't.
It's hard to rank, really. Yeah, even if I just go and play for Chelsea tomorrow. Like, yes, all right, cool. Maybe you'll see on the pitch, maybe I'm not good enough to mix it with some of the boys, because I think I'm better than some of the boys as well. But maybe I'm not good enough to mix it with all of them. But now let's figure out my level.
Yeah.
Where am I?
Yeah.
Should I be at Rochdale?
Yeah.
Still available, guys. I'm still available, Rochdale.
He's not Rochdale level.
They came for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So who do are you swaying to anybody?
How do you see this?
Look,
I'm getting a bit of criticism in my WhatsApp groups because people are beginning to think that I'm just always siding with the boxer fighter. Now,
no.
I get it. And I get it if that's the narrative you want to spin.
Speak your truth, Dan. Speak your truth.
But my truth is this.
Let the fans know.
Joshua Buatsi's been with Boxer for, I think, a year now. Maybe just over a year, etc., etc. Throughout their whole careers, I always favoured Buatsi over Yarde just because of the smoothness.
You prefer him?
No, I just thought that stylistically, Josh would. I think Yarde's better to look at.
Stylistic way he moves.
Of course, yeah. But I just think if they fought, I always thought Joshua would edge it. And I think it's still gonna be that kind of fight. And I don't think it's one of those fights where you just get in there and it's a Spence Crawford situation where it's someone's totally overmatched here.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
It's gonna be a competitive fight, but I always actually thought Joshua would do it. And now he's a boxer fighter, makes it seem like I'm just doing the boxer thing. Especially in having said that Clarke would win on points against, etc., etc. I've said that bare times today. But
I like Anthony Yarde, man.
I think they're both sick, and I think they both punch me up. So my opinion is just my opinion, guys.
Don't take it personal, guys, because we see these guys.
I would favour Josh. Just
slightly.
Just.
I don't know, man. Anthony Yarde. He doesn't lose.
You're gonna who?
Anthony Yarde, but
what do you mean?
But barring the Levs,
no, you're forgetting the one major thing here. This is.
He did lose. He lost the
Lindenhofer.
Yes.
So this is where I say
he did lose. I don't think. No, I'm not making excuses.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying everyone. It's boxing. We have short memories. Anthony Yarde has 3 losses on his record. 2 of those are world level elite. And I love Linden. Get me, big up Linden. But that's 3 losses. So there is a way to beat Anthony Yarde.
Of course.
As for Joshua Buatsi, no one's quite done that yet. Yes, he's had gut. He's had level. Yeah, but he's had gut checks. And what I'm trying to say is, I think he has fought that level because I think Craig Richards is that level.
Yeah. Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I just think that we have to be quite careful here to not just make Craig Richards seem like some kind of gatekeeper.
No, of course not. No.
He is cold, and
he's coming.
On his day, he can beat. Bro, he can beat anyone.
He wants to be a part of this conversation as well.
And he is.
He is.
That's why I'm in it.
Yeah.
But look, I think it's a top division. I think it's about time now everyone fights each other. I think Dan Aziz fighting Joshua Buatsi is the beginning of the light heavy, all of them, because you've got too many good fighters at light heavyweight for you guys to not mix it. I say for the next 24 months, guys, mix it. All of you mix it.
Have to. And I said that. Remember, I said a couple of weeks ago. The one thing about this division is that not enough of them have fought each other. So I don't, like we said, we don't know how to rank them.
Yeah.
They do need to fight each other. and then they understand. Not even they. So the fans understand. Okay, who's number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the rest. Because once Bivol and
I actually almost
once
forgot
those belts
about
get
the Lyndon
distributed.
Arthur loss.
Yeah.
So,
but he's got his revenge.
All right, here's my yes, he did get his revenge.
He did get his revenge
in good fashion as well.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say something before we leave. I think I've figured it out.
Oh, God. He figures out something every episode. Go on.
I think it's the jab. I think a good jab is what Anthony Yarde will struggle with.
You're only
Everyone will struggle with a good
You're only
jab.
saying that because of Lyndon Arthur.
I'm saying that because Kovalev also had a very good jab.
Yeah, but Kovalev has got.
And Beterbiev is like a ramrod.
Yeah, that's
massive, crazy.
That's
jab.
a truck.
But I think a good jab changes fights. Just complete. I think they just give you complete and utter control of them.
Yeah, but Lyndon Arthur tried to do the same thing the second fight, and Anthony
Yeah,
Yarde
but
found the
Anthony Yarde
answers.
just said, not today. Yeah,
No,
we
not that
did
jab.
this last time.
Yeah, we did last time. So
Interesting. Of course, Lyndon Arthur still to get back in the mix. That's probably a good fight for Dan Aziz. Listen, just call me, guys.
Dan Aziz.
We'll make these fights.
That's a good one, you know.
We'll make these fights.
I like that fight. I like that fight a lot. I like that fight.
Anything else has happened?
What, in world boxing?
Yeah.
Canelo's got an announcement to make.
But he's not made it yet, no?
Nah.
It's
Well,
probably
it'll be
gonna
out.
be Munguia.
Time this is, yeah.
Probably Munguia.
Munguia. Oh, but they're saying Crawford as well.
I don't. But then I saw a clip of Crawford sparring someone that looked the size of Canelo. Interesting.
You don't make an announcement just to Munguia, really. You told, if you make an announcement, you're going
It's
to...
in Mexico, though. It's Mexico.
I know, but if you're going to make a big announcement, you would go for something. You could crawl out someone like Crawford. Munguia could be an Instagram post.
Do you want my unpopular opinion?
Go on.
Crawford should not fight Canelo.
Of course, that's what everybody says. You know my...
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay,
but do you know what my unpopular opinion is?
What?
Crawford should go there and take his head off.
I think you're asking a lot, mate.
Crawford.
You're asking for a lot. You're asking for a man who
over
fought
there.
at 147.
I know he has to go to 160?
160. What? It don't matter what it's going up to.
Catch
it doesn't
weight.
matter.
Do 154.
Nah, he can't. He could never make 154 now.
Who? Canelo?
Canelo. He lost weight in like 2018 against Mayweather. Like, there's just no like.
We need to see that fight, or stop ducking the Mexican monster, man. Go fight.
There's
him.
weight division for a reason. I don't mind when people go up, but I just think that sometimes you get beat by. Some people only get beat because of size.
Size, yeah, okay.
I get it. Go and get your bag.
Yeah, go get
Crawford's
your stuff.
36, I believe. So yeah. Other than that, I think that's everything. We've got a top schedule coming up. Look, what a start to the year. We've had Jonas Mayer, Jan 20th. Then Buatsi Aziz.
Great fight.
We have announced Wardley Clarke, March 31st, Easter. It looks like we're going to have CBS Reactport. We haven't got a date for that yet, I don't think. There's some big announcements based on who's coming, who's going to be fighting on the March 31st card. But then if there's Buatsi Aziz as well, mate, this is a good start to the year. Don't sleep on this schedule. This is by far and away the best domestic schedule, UK schedule.
So far,
Probably the best of any country in terms of like what they're doing in their country.
Yeah.
Crazy schedule.
I'm only the second month into the year.
That's it.
Yeah, we got another.
By the time this comes out, this will be. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, guys! I didn't even.
Happy Valentine's Day, Dan.
Right. I think that'll be it.
Yeah, I'm Fearon.
I am Saavage Dan. By the way, just because you said that, this is the cousin of Spencer Fearon.
Yeah, man.
And he's going to be heavily in the Anthony Yarde camp, which means that your hands might be tied. Just family ties. Just what I said. We'll see you next week.